in simple terms, why were you stood down from your clinical duties at the hospital?
The hospital took the opportunity to remove me from clinical duties on the grounds of being a danger to trans and gender diverse children, because I've got a history of expressing concerns about the gender clinic in the hospital and the model they're using called the affirmation model.
This affirmation model, can I paraphrase that? Tell me if it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So if a child comes in and presents with gender dysphoria, regardless of the mental state of that child, the hospital and the gender clinic just goes along with what the child wants.
Yes.
So the hospital just expected you, directed you in fact.
Directed me.
If a child was presenting with gender dysphoria, you were, no questions asked really, send them straight to the gender clinic.
Yes.
Forgive me if this is a stupid question, but how do you know if you were sending the right kids on what is an irreversible journey?
No one can know, and that's really important for parents to know, because when a child with gender dysphoria sits in front of a child psychiatrist or any mental health clinician, they have no way of knowing whether these children are going to persist in their gender dysphoria. And what's been hidden are the thousands of parents across Australia who are in anguish because they're very concerned about their child receiving care according to this affirmation model, and they're in a very difficult position, and they often can't speak out because their highest priority is to remain close to their child and to try to protect their child.
But if they keep going, they go to the gender clinics and then they start to have body parts cut off, they're never going to recover.
It's an absolute disaster, and it's so sad because child psychiatrists and other mental health clinicians are keeping quiet about their concerns. So it is creating this false impression that we all agree with the affirmation model.
You've been labelled transphobic. How do you relate to that?
I see this as a really serious child protection issue, and as a 45-year-old woman and as a mother and as a child psychiatrist, I could not hold my head up if I didn't speak about this. It's too important. And what we're talking about is the well-being of children and their health. We want kids to grow up and be happy. We all want that. We don't want them to have regrets and serious health problems.
Why do you think this has become such a significant social issue?
I think there's lots of social factors contributing. There's a very vocal social movement. But what this issue has revealed is a crisis in the published medical research. And so journals usually use a peer review process to determine if a study is accurate before publication, but that peer review process is failing, and so we're seeing very poor quality studies being published, and the conclusions drawn by their activist researchers are often the exact opposite of what the study has found. What parents really need to know is that it's a very dangerous time for children and families, and they need to be very cautious about who they let engage with their child. So what I would recommend is that they see the health professional first without the child to find out what approach they're going to take towards their child.